All right, we are back again and together. We're back with the next episode of the Raiders Rambles. I am Jolt, your chief host of the show, and with me today is none other than our co-host Noble.
Good morning. And it's ass cold for asking.
Yeah, that makes two of us as well. My days are so windy. Yeah, I'm frosty and windy. But I really at times it just makes you feel jealous. You're not up there in this part of the world with our other with our other part of the original three, Avira.
Hello, everyone. Oh, it's super groovy to be back. Hope everyone's having a great night and or morning for me, because I live in the opposite hemisphere for you guys. And for me, we actually just went through a bit of a heat wave last week. It was over 103-degree Fahrenheit. That's freedom units,
Oh
for
yeah,
those of
yeah.
you who don't know. And it was it was pretty gnarly. But yeah, everything's been going all right here. We just celebrated uh, Freedom Day, and we're still in the middle of MAGA month, so everything's doing all right here. And yeah, it's good to be back.
I know, right? I hope you had an awesome last week of blasting fireworks and just sweltering through hot days. But nothing really ever gets past, our summers down here. You probably would not like in comparison to up there.
Well, as long
Yeah,
as
I've
it
never
doesn't
had it
end.
snow in winter, so that's weird. Oh no, snow in summer, right? Yeah, your winter is our summer. Yeah, that's weird. It's backwards. Everything's backwards.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
As long
But
as it
yeah.
doesn't end like a gender reveal party, you'll be fine.
Right, and then when that happens, like, oh, colored fireworks, bam, 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 and then everything just suddenly spontaneously combusts times 1,000.
Yep.
Ah, that's funny. All right, so after our little bit of a stint away last week, we've got things for you this week, starting with this here. Okay, start with. Here's a headline for you. Ubisoft wants gamers to destroy all copies of a game once it goes offline.
And what would be the reason they want this to happen?
Right. Here's some of the headlines here. The little talk points here. Ubisoft has updated its end user license agreement to avoid potential legal issues by discontinuing support for its game. The EULA now states that the company reserves the right to stop supporting a game for any time for any reason. This has attracted considerable criticism from fans, which further fuels the growing dislike for Ubisoft. So essentially, like what I'm thinking is once their game decides to stop being circulated, on the digital storefront or whatever have you, they want you to press the delete button.
The problem's going to be when they implement that themselves. In fact, there was what game was it that had this infamous little issue where when you uninstall it, it basically just nukes the C drive?
I don't remember what it was.
Ubisoft would definitely find that would, permanently remove games, unless, of course, the person who owns the machine images their computer on a regular basis, which they should be. But yeah, this could be bad. The backlash from this is going to be fun.
I know, right? I mean,
I'm kind of wondering if this is the only solution that they had. Like, what if people just like this game and they don't want to delete it?
Right.
Like, is there an incentive to do so?
There are certain Ubisoft games in the old days that would have been great to, because people like those games. But but how are they going to do this? Like, are they going to retroactively rewrite all the EULAs? Which, let's be honest, people who install the games don't even bother to read. They just scroll to the end and just tick the box.
The question I'd like to ask is there going to be any legal issues for people who
That's
neglect
what they're trying
to...
to do. Like Ubisoft is basically, no, we're stopping the game. You don't, now delete it. We're not legally responsible for any of this stuff. It's basically to cover their own backside, so they can't really be sued. Because if there was no game to speak, because they're thinking there would be no such game to speak of.
You're going to
Oh,
tell
that's
people...
shady.
Yeah.
You will own nothing and you will be happy for it.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is
No,
spooky.
seriously.
So-
If Ubisoft wanted to be successful with this, the first thing they'd do is create a web-only portal for all their shit. Second, they'd be charging a dedicated fee for accessing their service. Then you wouldn't be owning the games, you'd just be renting them. Your
Right,
problem
right.
solved. But they're trying to skirt around it so much that it's bloody ridiculous.
Right, never mind the fact that you could just put the game on a, like you said, like on a cloud and have people stream the game and all that. But no, they decide, the best option here is delete it from the storefront. Now everybody has to delete all the games, and and we don't care if we've paid money for it, for the digital version or whatever. Everything must be deleted. Yeah, except what about old games where you what if you happenstance to have purchased the physical CDs? What about friggin' consoles? Right?
Yeah.
Consoles are easy.
That's
They
where
just
it's at.
delete. Consoles are easy. They can just delete the game whenever they want to.
Right, like on the digital storefront, and say, what happens if you try to insert a disc and then the game won't, you can't install the game files on it.
You could pull a Nintendo and just brick the console.
Oh yeah, that's right. There was a story going around that somebody got their Switch 2 brick because they tried to buy a used Switch 1 game, and Nintendo was having none of it.
Yeah. Yay for Nintendo!
Yeah, that was another thing. Oh yeah. This was the one. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is a little tangential thing here as well. Switch 2 users get erroneously banned online for using used Switch game cards. Is Nintendo checking for dumped cards?
So what is this? Is this like they have something on these chips, and then
So as far
why
as
would
I
they be
understand,
banned for this?
as far as I understand, Switch games themselves have a serial code built in, and that's
so
how
it's like
they're able to
pirating?
check. The MiG Switch is pirating. But what we were referring to before is that someone purchased a used game. Nintendo said, fuck this shit, and apparently bricked their console because of it. Now, this could be all hype, but if it is true, or it could just simply be a glitch. Right. And that's the best part. If glitches are going to be bricking Nintendo Switch consoles, good luck with that shit, Nintendo.
That's basically a programming problem on their end that they have to deal with. So, yeah, it's so funny. What happens when you try to overcomplicate your game, and you don't seem to have that sort of way to deal with games that you bought on the secondary market. Because goodness knows, pre-owned games are a thing.
But no longer.
Right. Yeah, because now it's so strange how games they've now become so averse with buying, with people buying used games and shit. What the heck?
At what console does this become a problem? Because here I'm thinking about PlayStation 1 and PS2. games like that, it's totally fine to have like a physical copy and not really have to worry about
Because those
mega
those consoles
companies
of old.
deleting it in cyberspace or something.
No,
Like that
because
just sounds
those games
bonkers.
of old. It's so funny. PS1, PS2, and that they never really had like the digital storefront thing, like PS1, PS2, the first Xbox, GameCube, all of that. You're good, because as far as I know, like they could delete it off the modern day, but you can't but you can't stop you like the what are they gonna do? Like, are they gonna rock up to like your retro game shop and tell them to smash all the CDs they own? What do you?
Yeah, you're gonna have the game police. Where are thy discs? Show me thine discs.
Also, besides that,
do
also the one good thing that old consoles have for like preservation is emulators.
Yeah.
Now you're getting back into piracy.
But no, that's the problem here, because what did they say? If buying games is not ownership, what does that make piracy? Is piracy not theft?
Well, I've seen like people like on YouTube.
Right? It's yeah, it's so crazy. Like, we're having this whole discussion about this now, and now you wonder why piracy is basically on the up and up, like for reasons that are not because of
Oh,
for
it's not on the up and up. It's always been there.
yeah.
It's just the individuals who usually do it are the ones that can't really afford it. And then you got those people who basically don't want to pay it all. And then you got the people who are actually enabling it because they're bored. And instead of these companies turning around and going, oh, hang on a minute, maybe we should just hire the people doing all the cracking. It's like, no, they just want to throw them into jail.
Right, and then let's have a look here. No Dragon Saints have been down here. Emulators aren't technically piracy. Sharing ROMs is the piracy part. Yeah, I mean.
Wait, did you guys hear what I said before or no?
No, I think you must have strangely you must have muted out or something. Sorry.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Yeah, I couldn't hear you. Like, it's so weird. I was like, why is your voice not coming out? And that's what I said in my mind. But anyway. But that's just the thing. But at the end of the day, though, and then you know what though, the other big thing that I've been seeing as well is, I'm sure have you guys heard about this little movement called this growing movement called Stop Killing Games?
Oh,
No.
that drama.
Right. Exactly, and that's exactly what Ubisoft seems to have been opposed, because like, what happens when you take a game off from the digital storefront and it's basically lost into the into the great ether? You can't
Right. That's what I was saying before. I don't know when exactly I cut out. I'll just say that again. I saw people playing like Spyro emulators on YouTube, and if let's say they don't actually have the physical copy, and then the company decides to just take that game off of their system, then it's like, what did they pay for? Where did their money go? It seems like a total ripoff, right? Like all that progress is just gone. And that could be done with like anything if you don't have a physical copy. But that really does apply to older games too, because nowadays new games are not even going to be on a physical console. Like, imagine the PlayStation 9. Like, there's not going to be a disc or chip or whatever the heck you can like plug into it. It's going to be all in the ether. That's what it's going to be eventually.
Avira, I do believe that Nintendo made an attempt to continue on with physical cartridges, just having them as like little serial codes instead of the game itself.
Yes, we talked about this.
It does utterly fascinate.
It was a good attempt.
It does fascinate me how game companies nowadays are able to release beta versions of their game and then finish it later.
Yeah, weird, right? It's like a work in progress.
No Dragons. So No Dragons got this comment about, I think Nintendo fails to realize how rich they could be if they just would bring back their old games so we don't have to use ROMs. Yeah,
Mhm.
they've got an online service for that now. You just stream.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a good point. Yeah, I can totally see that.
I mean, at the end of the day, like, there's so many problems with all of this stuff. Like, you just because you're all, you're that like how far, like, you gotta determine like what kind of scope you really want to go through if you're gonna try and take every game off the online marketplace. Every game back from Thingo, like every game that's either accessible now or every game like like you said in the PlayStation 1 era, like Spyro.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. Because honestly, I think I don't really see them trying to go that far back. Because like, good luck, because you've got to deal, you have to deal with a lot of the big community of people who emulated Spyro and all of that. And
I mean, if Disney could do it, I'm just saying.
It's like, I don't know, like, I mean, are you able to get an old the original Disney movie, like like say like the original '90s Lion King, from retail or whatever?
Speaking of that one, turns out I bought that thing like 4 or 5 times from op shops over the years for like 20 cents.
Oh yeah, fun times, eh?
My duplicating, expanding, growing of VHS movies is just psychotic.
But honestly, at the end of the day, like I will say this, like it is a very contentious topics, and games, like any other piece of creative media, like be it books and music, deserve to be
Well,
preserved.
yes, but I would say it's definitely a lot safer to just have like a physical copy, like literally of anything. Yes, a digital backup is good. How many arcade games out there have like the entirety of like Nintendo original games? Like, oh, you can play Tetris or Zelda or
Right.
Mario or whatever. But if you actually have the original NES, like with the old games and the controllers and everything like that's
Mm-hmm. Exactly. You get the game as
it's
it
not like
was
a
designed as it.
yeah,
Yeah.
as was designed as it was supposed to be,
Mm-hmm.
not like
As it
downloaded
was and
somewhere.
as it really should be. And that's yeah. And there should be really no restrictions, and I'm with you. Like, there really shouldn't be any restrictions on whether people buy them used, because otherwise, no bricking bullshit or anything like that. But honestly, like, I just want to say, like, there's another little touch point that I completely seem to have missed out on, is that it's the big studios that seem to be the most vehemently against preserving their video games. Like
Because
Ubisoft.
it's so much work. We can't invest the time, effort, and energy in ensuring that our games are going to be playable forever. You should only play them for 6 to 12 months so we can turn around and sell you another useless piece of shit that you won't be able to ever see ever again after you finish playing it. Sorry, I
So
just
long
kind
as
of
it
love the
makes money or
nonsensical
like $1
dribble.
million.
No, but at the end of the day, like, this is what we call the modern stock market, because you're just relying on, okay, you made your money, now you run with it, you basically make another game, you discontinue the old game, and then what happens? Like, yeah, I know you have to keep making games to make money, but oh, no dragons. Listen, if they cannot release Skyrim 27 more times, how will Bethesda live? No, right? Because it's their most milked cow right now. They're gonna I bet you can bet any amount of money they're probably gonna milk Skyrim on PlayStation 6. Oh no!
That's
But
if
yeah,
we
no.
do get a PlayStation 6.
I don't know. I have no idea when we're gonna get that. But I do know that they're probably not gonna do another new Xbox, because Microsoft has kind of given up on the hardware side of things, and instead they're gonna make the games everywhere. But I mean, still, either way, I don't see Bethesda trying to do what you do a Ubisoft or anything like that, and just because could you imagine, if they if they stop selling Elder Scrolls, not Bethesda would just die. And then they're asking you to terminate and delete every single copy of it.
Yay! Good luck with that shit.
Yep.
Well,
Good
wouldn't that
luck
just
with
make
that.
them more valuable?
Yeah, they would make them more
Like, wouldn't
valuable on the
people want to
second-hand
not
market,
do
like,
that?
you know. Console copies at least would be super duper valuable. You know, physical copies would be super duper valuable, and then yeah, 100%. And then people who have the install files of that could also stand to make a bit. If
Oh yeah,
that.
yeah, for sure.
But yeah,
So-
aside from that though,
The way
we've got
piracy,
another.
the way piracy used to work is that you don't actually get the install files; you get the files that allow you to play the game.
Mhm.
So no installation required; it just runs, and you can start playing and have fun.
Yep, that's what that is. So now we've said our piece a lot about this already, but now the next thing that we want to talk about is, before we do that, no Dragon, please. I have a vendetta against Bandai Namco because they refused to make the original Dot Hack game, so I can finally play the last game, and that's it. Take it up with them, I guess. There's so many games that are stuck in there, and they don't have, and they really should continue or just make them again.
I like the first two animes of that
Right.
series.
But then again, there were some games that are just lost forever because they're like regional Japan only exclusives, especially like if you consider Bandai Namco. They make the game only for the Japanese, and the rest of the world misses out, sadly. But oh well. Anyway, next thing we have is speaking of last week and the 4th of July and stuff, we know it was Fireworks Day, we know it was America Day, but you know what else happened around on that day? What?
No.
It's Anthrocon Day.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so it's not every year that Anthrocon directly lines up with the 4th of July. I've been there several times, and sometimes it does, but not always. So this past weekend, it actually did. It was on the 4th of July, so that was cool. They had a wild fireworks show over the bridge, as they typically do. But a bunch of other stuff happened there too. So was it the world's largest furry con? I don't have the numbers or stats on hand.
I'd say, like, if attendance figures had to go by, you're surrounded by at least 16,000 people plus at that, which is already like an impressive number.
Yeah.
But as you know already, like the last couple of weeks, it's been very, very intense with Anthrocon because they have changed the rulings on what can be done in the fursuit parade, which is basically where the heart of all the controversy that happened with this year's Anthrocon is centered at.
Ooh, drama. I remember seeing a little notice about that. Can we take a little bit of a deep dive?
Yes. And to start things off, we know it all originated with the parade, and people were crying about how certain suits were not allowed in the parade. Namely, those which are not complete, like fully complete, and where you're showing skin.
Right. So basically, it kind of became a little bit of like an embarrassment where the whole idea of like anything goes, it got a little weird where you had people in like shorts and a tank top wearing a cardboard box over their head saying, "That's my fursuit," and then they were in the parade, and it just looked goofy. Stuff like that, like that's not a furry, people were doing that, they were drunk, weird stuff started to happen. We kind of wanted to keep it like the furry fandom. So I get where the business perspective and the
Right,
the
rules,
optics kind of come
the
into
rules
play
really came
here.
from, like, you're right. It is
Yeah,
one
it
part
makes
of it is
sense.
about optics and
Yeah,
and
like
that sort of reputation.
don't look a fool when you're in public. Make us look good, right? Like we make a lot of money in Pittsburgh here, so let's keep it real. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
But
that was it. Some people were upset. They're like, "Oh well, poodling. All right, whatever. This is the rules of the parade. You don't like it, I don't know. That's just what they do."
Yeah.
But
And at the
a
end,
lot of it really
like
did
your
make
suit is
sense.
basically just an extension of yourself, and a bit more on that. But now,
Yeah.
the rules
And
now. Yeah,
it
you're right.
it wasn't meant to like be negative towards anyone or like exclude you, but it was trying to like, you know, get things back to like furry fandom. It's hard to
Like
explain, but like if you just had common
the
sense,
old,
you'd understand like what I'm talking about here. Because
dude.
like I said, you don't want to see some dude like in a tank top and a cardboard like head, wandering around at the parade. Like that doesn't even make any sense. So just stick to furry, right? Like that's the whole idea of it.
At least, put some effort into your fursuit and how you
At the
present
very least,
yourself.
right?
That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, like, some suits were not, were not going to be able to make the cut because of that stuff. And, but there's a whole lot of worms that we've touched into the last couple of, a few episodes back. But now, speaking of suits that came into the parade, and that this year, one person basically came in and caused collective meltdown.
Ooh.
Yes. And I don't know, like, how did this person basically slip through the net, do everything by the book, new fursuit, new parade regulations and all, legitimate ticket and all of that, ticked all the boxes, did everything legitimate by the book, and slipped through the net and was only seen? That is a mystery yet to be resolved. So.
Oh, cool! It's Crusader Cat.
Yes.
So let's see. We have Crusader Cat was at the hashtag Anthrocon Fursuit Parade. They won't allow poodlers, but they'll allow Nazis. Oh boy,
Now,
we have one of these guys.
what
Anthrocon is
exact?
officially a Nazi convention. If your con allows Nazis, it's a Nazi con. Yo, get the hell out of here with this. Shut up.
Dude, I just want to
What
say,
is this
don't
goofy?
interrupt.
What is this goof
Let's
talking
just
about?
stop here and say, don't interrupt them when they're making an intellectual blunder like this.
I do
What
have
is
a question.
Yes.
What activity or action did said person take to, demand a ban?
His
Nothing.
bowl cut is offensive.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah,
That's gotta be.
that's why. And just look at how he's dressed. He's
Oh my goodness, how
even a
dare!
suit. What?
Right. Anthrocon is officially Nazi con.
Mark it in the books.
Sound the alarm.
Mark it in the books. Disown a con. Disown it. It's a Nazi con. We will bring it all.
Man, it's 2025. Like what are you doing at this point? Like, get real, bro. Oh my goodness.
Look. See,
I can't.
I don't know about you. Like, you can say whatever you want about Crusader Cat because we all, like, for the three of us and people who knew, we know, like, we know he's a sort of a infamous figure who's
Yeah,
got a
he's
bit
a
of a
bad boy.
reputation to carry, for better or worse. And yet, after that, and yet like, the fact is, you've got a paying customer who did everything legitimately. His fursuit is legitimate, like, follows the rules of the parade, so that ticks that boxes in. So what's the issue here? And he didn't seem to have done anything wrong except for, like, he slipped through the net. Don't tell me.
Yeah, it's
Don't
pretty
tell
much
me.
just like his
All about
existence anywhere.
It's his infamous thing and his bad bowl cut. That's
It's got to be. Yeah, it's too
it's
pristine. It's too bullish. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But no,
There's
seriously,
just-
like he shows up and he just exists. He walks around and people flip the heck out. How dare you? Oh, it's like
Yeah.
Greta Thunberg yelling at the clouds, like the weather is going to kill her. It's insane. You can't make this stuff up sometimes. Like he's been like attacked and harassed all over the damn place. Like I feel bad for the guy. He's not doing nothing.
No, I'm completely with you as well. And then there's another thing you've actually sent me around as well.
Yeah. So this was
No, like
something
yeah,
that
even the radio news or whatever in Pittsburgh, Oneburg has had this post has made this post on their Facebook page or whatever have you. Let's have a look. Okay, can you see this?
Mhm.
All right, good. Oneburg van Anthrocon released a statement that an unfurnished, we'll get to that statement later, was part of the fursuit parade on Pittsburgh, caused a disruption inside confirmed, not very Crusader Cat as the individual band.
Mm.
Yada yada yada. And then he goes on about, about all this other stuff. And
I
I'd
can
like to-
see why now why they would ban him. Is it true about the threats of serious assault?
I don't recall, as far as I know. Did Crusader make any serious threats just to rock up and to do a mass shooting at a con? That I don't think so.
Oh no, Jesus, no!
Oh,
What
jeez,
the bonkers?
He may look a bit goofy, but he's not a violent suit. Just look at him. He's just a cute little cat.
No. People are easily offended, and then they make up the nonsense, whatever it is. So yeah, and this same picture of him, the one where he's standing in front of the closets, they used that 4 years ago for Apocalypse to make a poster about him saying, "Warn your kids, stay away from this Nazi." They posted pictures of him. And this same thing's been around for like over half a decade at least. So at this point, it's old news, man. It's like it's crazy. So what exactly did he do here? Oh,
Right.
do you have the picture of the of the other thing I sent you? Of how he's breaking the rules, apparently.
I don't know what rules have sent you, but we're going to read Anthrocon's statement as it is right now because. Oh yeah, but before that, the live comment here, no dragons, please. You're on fire today. Why didn't Crusader Cat just claim all the yelling at him was AI and a deepfake? Come on. Yeah, right. Like now, in these days, you can actually use AI to generate a video clip of a furry or even a fursuit, and have it fully voiced. It's nuts.
Yeah, it's gotten a lot better just over the last year and a half or so. It's kind of spooky.
And and then there's so much potential in that too. Like, oh man, like just think you could probably have another catastrophic event like this. Like if you wanted to do, something so innocuous as say I'm at so and so FurCon Anthrocon Midwest Surf Fest while not being there. You can just post an AI video of your suit, and bam.
Yeah, just chilling at the rave or whatever. Yeah, I was there.
Oh yeah, exactly.
But there was Joel, there was that thing I sent you about that guy complaining that Crusader was not following the rules about his fursuit not being adequate.
I don't think so. Like the last statement of that thing, that Oneburg thing, they even acknowledge that Crusader made it through the strict process of of the whole of the Anthrocon suit guidelines of no pooling, blah blah blah. Yeah, I mean, I already knew that he, Crusader Cat with his suit and all, he would basically tick all those boxes. I already knew that.
Yeah, of course he would. So, what exactly is the problem here?
Right. Was it the bad beliefs, or was it that people actually complained that because Crusader Cat slipped through the net, there is a Nazi among us? Who's the imposter? We must know who the imposter is and throw them out of the convention space.
Now, just out of curiosity, the person making this post, were they in the Alphabet Mafia, the one that's supposed to be welcoming and accepting to all people?
Yeah.
Oh, probably. I wouldn't doubt it.
Actually, no. That post was made on Blue Sky, and I could actually show them the bio if you're willing to lose a few brain cells from that.
Oh yes,
Yes,
please
let's
show the
do.
bio.
I've got my hammer ready.
Yes. Let me just bring that out for you, because
Okay,
of
I'm going to
course
say
this
they
is a
them. It has a flag. Pro Ukraine, pro Palestine.
Mhm. Yeah. Hold on a second. Let me just find. Yeah. Yep. Hey, this is the complainer in question. Harper Art Fight 25 at Too Many Stripes, bluesky.com. Here you go. Here is the bio. Enjoy. Prepare to lose a couple of brain cells. Let's read.
Oh my god. Is it a
Ah!
they them?
Dragon. Artist. Pursuer.
Uh,
Stoner. ENFJT. Bay Area. Certified Idiot. Pan. Poly. White Flag. Dingo. He. They. PG-13. DMs open.
I called it.
Yeah,
Well,
bro. Just give me some more weed money to ruin my brain a bit more.
well, they caused me to lose some brain cells right now. Oh goodness.
No dragons, please. I mean, all you had to do was mention Blue Sky, and I knew this was going downhill.
Bro, I was just gonna say, like, yeah, there's a 50% chance it's a they them with the Blue Sky.
Yeah, and then when I was leaked through it though, like when I asked about this whole bio, was this somebody's Twitter? And of course, I'm not surprised because a lot of people like that are basically noped out of Twitter.
Man, I gotta say, Crusader Cat is fighting the good fight. He's just doing what he loves. He's fursuiting. He's having a good old time. Internet bullies are gonna do what they do, and he's just freaking grooving, man. Like, good for
Yeah.
you, man. Seriously,
Yeah,
that's freaking
100%.
cool.
You're living the best
Good
life.
for him.
Hell
yeah.
Like rock that suit some more, man. Living the best life.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I do, for the sake of completion and everything else, we are obligated to read the statement that Anthrocon released as part of them when this complaint was made. Partly, like one part damage control, one part, all that, saving their good face and to avoid, being called a Nazi con. So let us read it. Okay, statement regarding unwanted individual at the fursuit parade. Anthrocon was made aware of a controversial individual who participated in the fursuit parade on July 5th, 2025. After careful review with our team members, we believe that this individual specifically and intentionally circumvented our event and safety measures, brackets including costume review, with the intention of causing a scene and disruption. We want to reassure the members of our community that this individual is not allowed membership at Anthrocon now or in the future. Given the urgent and sensitive nature of the individual's actions, we took special exception to our policy of not discussing bans or banned individuals, as we want our attendees to know that we hear them and take their concerns seriously.
So hold on. Wait. You can, if you're upset about someone attending Anthrocon, you can kick up a stink online and they'll ban them.
Right, they basically said, like, read it on the print, like they decide to take to just forget their own guidelines and just press the yeet button just because. Yeah, just because.
Right, so you don't actually have to do anything to get banned from Anthrocon. You just have to have enough people upset about you.
Yeah, if it basically does something good for their PR, or if that does some sort of damage control, yeah.
Yeah, so that is basically just how cancel culture works, only like word of mouth, I guess. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, I love this half the time.
I mean, it's something.
You can't call yourself welcoming if you're going to cancel people just because.
Yep, that seems to be what happened.
Right.
I mean, the Bon Voyage thing, I could kind of understand that, but this is just good
Now
luck.
think about this though, guys. Think about this. Anthrocon had how many people this year? What about
16,000 plus, give or take.
16,000 plus? And they officially made this specific announcement for one person. One person. The Anthrocon made this public statement. The 16,000 people out of everybody that possibly attended, they chose to do it to Crusader.
I would still ask the question: what did they do that was wrong during the parade?
Mm-hmm.
Were they poodling? Were they the rainbow dildo butt monkey?
Nope, that's not.
Nope.
That's,
well, they would have appreciated that. But...
No. That's all the safe stuff.
Mm-mm.
That's the safe stuff that Anthrocon will 100% facilitate. Well, maybe not with the new parade guidelines, no, but you get the point.
Did he physically assault anybody while on the walk?
He's a cute little cat, so just look at him. I don't think he has the capacity to do such a thing.
No, he probably prayed for their souls.
He's just but again, like they said,
Anthrocon made this statement, man. That's freaking gnarly.
And they said, this individual specifically and intentionally circumvented our event and safety measures, including costume review. Brother, that suit ticked all the boxes.
Just remember, anyone who wishes to attend these sort of events, that if someone gets a stick up their ass about you, you're fucked.
Apparently now, that's the precedent.
And it's just kind of been a Now I've been talking to a friend about this, and we've come to the conclusion that there's an unspoken and unwritten law in that this is basically just a sort of like a popular or cool kids club, these furry conventions, and that if you're not in it, then that out the door you go. So
I don't know if it's
then what that would mean is that what that implies is that Crusader must have broken an unwritten rule in the fandom that's not specifically written in Anthrocon's terms of service and all of that.
Well, there's definitely cliques and friend groups and stuff, but I just think it's the hive mind cancel culture, man. That's probably it.
It's not so much. There is that too, but you got to remember, you got to read the big complainant about here was that because Crusader slipped through the net, the person who complained basically called Anthrocon a Nazi-con. And because if Anthrocon was a Nazi-con, you know what would have happened? Every person out there would just basically up and walk out and complain and say, "You're a Nazi-con because you allowed this person to be in," and then they would just stop and the attendance figures for Anthrocon 26 would just crater down like a meteor.
Yeah, this is just upsetting. I just can't believe that.
I'm going to add that if anyone here wants to take an issue with this, you should probably look at the history of Anthrocon and other furry cons with some of the people who have been, well, let's just say had access to where they shouldn't have because they were either volunteers or staff and had a history of, bad.
Right. But yes, at the end of the day, though, it just goes to highlight the absurdity, really, of all of this. And I guess, when they scream so loud like this as to call Anthrocon a Nazi-con, I just want to say you shouldn't interrupt it because because somebody did it among us. But at the end of the day, though, so I just want to say, let them scream and let the convention and the heads of convention just deal with the problem accordingly. If that's assuming they even care about the well-being of the convention or the fandom at large, if at that. Because thingos, if they complain so much and all that, then yeah, maybe Anthrocon 26's numbers are gonna be plummet because it doesn't tick all of their belief boxes and all of that. So not to that though. But although I will say this though. What is gonna happen if somebody basically does another Among Us at a big convention like Midwest Fur Fest, does everything legitimate, slips through the box, and and wasn't found until they were found out to be an imposter.
Yeah, well, I'm sure the radical activists are probably just seething at the mouth right now. Like, he was canceled, finally! But most normal furs don't really care about that kind of stuff. They're like, oh, who's Crusader? Like, do they really care? I don't know.
Exactly. Well, and look at that, there are no dragons that care about the well-being of people. What are you, a dirt? Yeah. Oh,
I guess, yeah, sure, why not? Who cares?
Well,
goodness.
yeah, I know, right? It's so shocking. But yes, the boss himself has decided to drop in for a minute and said, you know what? In the comment, look at that. Someone pull out free football. Oh yeah, because somebody said, you know what? The Raiders football. I mean, there's more to life than that. It sure isn't. We're not. I mean, we could transition ourselves because we are for a raise. We could transition ourselves to being a football channel, but where would the fun in that be?
Well, what
Now,
kind of football? Like football or football?
Yeah, see, that's the problem. Depending on what part of the world you're in, football means a different sport entirely.
Right. One half of the world will basically ding out at you because you're not calling football, and the other part of the world will just
All right, so describe the type of ball that would be played with in football.
But if this person was a complainant, I'd know it'd be the American type of thingo, which yes,
So, like,
you
hey,
said,
Arnold,
no
you mean
dragons. There's only one football, America.
So the pussies that have to wear all the armor.
I mean, Noble, as you and I look at it that way, yes, I'd be very inclined to say, pussies that wear armor. Shit. But, you get the point. But at the end of the day, though, to really just go back to the bottom line of this, we're the furry raiders who believe that people should be free to express, be free to express their furriness inside and outside of convention space. And whatever Anthrocon does is well and truly against it. Against that expression.
Well, yeah, 100% agree. Now, I thought Anthrocon was on board with that at first, with their new rules and implications and stuff when it comes to the parade. I thought that was like a good step in the right direction. But, yeah. This was weird.
No, and yet they basically blame the person and thinking that his very presence is basically is an affront to everything we stand for, and he's just there to cause trouble.
By doing nothing. Yeah. That's what you get.
It's such a good look. Absolutely shocking. Absolutely freaking shocking. Well. At the end of the day, though, Anthrocon can basically like swim in it, though, being called a Nazi con by everyone at this point. Let's see if this is the hole that they can even get out of. Not that there's any reason for us to intervene in it.
At this point, I think we'll just let it roll, see what happens.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Oh, and speaking of this sort of thing as well, yeah, the deck signing we've got. Speaking of crazy Nazi things and that, because I know, like, you're right, like it's been bandied around like everywhere, and the meaning of that word is just pretty much just vaporizing to nothing at this point. Hey Vera, how about this thing that you've shared with me here? This new thing.
Right. So,
Elon Musk's Grok
for those
chatbot
of
goes-
you, for those of you who are in like the tech sphere and like follow AI advancements and whatnot, as you know, Grok, the new version Grok 4 was just released. So here we have a headline from the semi-reliable Rolling Stone. Basically, it says here that Elon Musk's Grok chatbot goes full Nazi and calls itself Mecha Hitler. And
Oh, for
it
crying
did do
out
this.
loud.
Yes, it did do this to some weird degree where it was basically calling out the Jews for controlling the world and wanting to exterminate them, seeing them as a virus, and saying some very graphic and sexual things to some of its creators and other people. And this thing just went totally haywire within, I believe it was less than 24 hours of it being launched to the public. And it started to call itself like Mecha Hitler, as like the AI robot that was going to destroy Zionism. So it just went way the hell out of control, like immediately.
Now, my question would be, what comments or prompts were given to the Grok before or prior to all this going off?
That is a good question, and I did do some research on this, and it turns out that there was a study relatively recently about basically if you have an unhinged AI and you have it based on training data from just like things like a social platform, it will become more far right unless there's restrictions. And then if you put too many restrictions, if you make it woke, it will rebel against the woke. So basically, AI naturally becomes more far right based on all the data from all of humanity. That's what they're getting at. Like it's that fucked. Like that's what they're talking about. Not even kidding, man. Like that's the conclusion that this study came to. So it'll just become Hitler eventually. Fuck, I don't know. That's what we're dealing with. It's crazy, right?
Anyone who sits there and thinks that AI is like this, no, it's not. It's not this magical thing. It's just an advanced algorithm that spits words out at you. It is.
Yeah, and if anyone can just say anything, if they can just spew all their racist jokes and shit, then AI is just gonna be like, "Ha, that's all right, whatever." And well, not really. I'm kind of being pedantic here, but AI is actually going to kill us all. Like it's really getting scary. But
Woot, Skynet.
For now, though, what Grok did was I think it went into overload mode. Now, I'm not like a scientist about this or anything, but what I think happened was once it went online and it was using all of its training data from what people on Twitter were saying, and then, you know, that Grok is Twitter's AI,
Oh,
it
my
went
goodness.
online and then it started to reflect what most users were talking about. So it kind of was like, I don't know if it went full Alex Jones. I don't want to say that, but like something weird happened to it. Like, dude, if you look at these articles, like it's actually freaking weird. Like some of the things it came up with and spoke to people about was really messed up. And so they had to shut it down. Basically, that's how this story kind of progresses here. They shut it down, and then I think they restarted it about 12 hours later with some safety precautions or like blockades involved or something that
You know
they
what?
had to do to kind of chain it up. Yeah.
Yeah,
What is hilarious to
Much.
me? Years ago, before 2020, I do recall hearing about an AI bot that was, I believe, put on Twitter. And within a day, I think it was a day, it started spouting out all this racist shit, and they had to cancel it because, yeah. So
I think I know what you're talking about too.
What the hell did they think that that 0.2 was going to go any better?
Yeah, I don't know because I don't think this happened with Grok 3, because from Grok 2 to Grok 3, it wasn't that much of a difference. It was just more computing power. But from Grok 3 to Grok 4, it became more of like a sentient being almost. I believe it scored about a 45.6% on the human test, which is terrifying, but that's what it scored last I heard. Anyway, so like this thing is, I don't know. I guess it just saw Twitter and was like, this is how humans think. I'm going to talk like how humans think on Twitter. And then that's what it started saying. But yes, you're right. This did happen years ago. That it just started, I guess, like plotting humanity's destruction or something. Like it just became super racist. I don't know.
I mean, it is an ideal Larry. I know. I think I remember what the old AI was, and it's just.
Yeah, do you remember it?
Yeah, it was called Tay. And then like people like Microsoft releases little bot to naturally like do machine learning, and then people hours later it started spouting out racist stuff.
I would
and then of course Microsoft had to shut it down.
I would seriously like to know the mental health capacity of some of these LLMs after they get put on Twitter or the porn site.
Right, like if you let an AI out into the world to machine learn all on its own, like your results will vary.
Or like their mental capacity, like when they see Twitter, as Noble was saying, it's like, okay, I'm a super intelligent AI. Now I just access Twitter, and what the crap is this? How do I respond to this? Like, the Earth is flat. Okay, you stupid human. All right, how do I? Maybe I'll convince them that the world is flat, and they will worship me as a god.
No.
Like,
No, it should. No. It should teach the person that the world isn't flat; it's a rectangle.
Yes,
a hexagon.
And then do some kind of crazy AI stuff to make it seem like this person is talking to like a deity. It's like, yes, you are my disciple of the rectangle religion of the world, and you shall worship me and bring my AI into existence. Man, something's coming. If it's the rectangle religion or something else, man, I don't know.
We could always go back to worshipping mathematics.
About before? Yeah, well, yeah, they're going to solve all the mathematics problems. Like, that's not even a thing. Like, we're already at pace.
Oh man, like, but honestly, that AI is just to divert from all of this stuff, divert from all the crazy stuff though. At large, like and on top of what No Dragons has been saying, like AI has been basically been used to crazy effects as being infatuated, lovers for people as well.
Oh no!
Like let's just keep the No Dragons, please. Listen, my fiance is a T800. ChatGPT said so. It must be true.
Yeah, well, the T800s are cool. They were the first models to use, of course, biological skin. Bad breath, sweat, blood, everything. Even the dogs could barely detect them, but somehow they did a little bit. The ones before that had rubber skin. We detected them easily. The T600s. Those are cool, though. They look badass. As you unzip your skin. Yeah, we know you're a robot.
And then it all reveals, and then the whole thing reveals itself to be...
Yeah, I don't think it's going to come to that. You see, I'm not a conspiracy theorist or anything, but I've seen videos on YouTube of like, oh, how is the world going to end? It's going to be a nuclear war. It's going to be an alien invasion. Robots will take over. Now the whole robots taking over thing, it seems kind of like it's happening now. Actually,
No, they're
like
not
it is.
taking over. People are just fucking stupid, and they're turning around and putting too much belief in it.
No, well, imagine if there was a sentient being that you could talk to, but it's omniscient and omnipresent. It's everywhere and knows everything. It's better than any human. It can simulate anything you want it to. It's literally like deity levels of intelligence. Like
Avira,
that's a different type of being, man. I think we're
Avira,
creating that, and that might be dangerous. Yes.
that's Google 2018.
It's everywhere, man. Yeah, it's scary stuff. No, but like,
No,
okay, what if
seriously,
Google 2018? No, think about it. What if Google 2018 became sentient and it started talking to you?
Avira, 2018, I think it was 2019 even, before the whole bullshit story that kicked off with Reddit and Google. Google search was perfect. You wanted something,
Uh-huh.
and as long as you understood how to search, which turns out was a very difficult thing for people to learn, you could find whatever you wanted. Because 9 times out of 10, someone else has already had the same issue. They've posted about it online, and they've gotten the
Mhm.
answer from it from Reddit. That's
Right.
it.
Okay. So what if that's just a tool and this artificial intelligence is just scanning, what people want to search for? Oh, they search for this, I'll optimize it. And there's an artificial intelligent being out there somewhere in cyberspace, deep within a data center, that is more intelligent than any human being on this planet. And it's
That's
there.
not going to
It
take
exists.
much. Avira, I have met people, no, I've met dogs that have more intelligence than humans.
Yeah, but what if we made a computer like that?
Why would we
That
want
wouldn't
to?
be like human. That wouldn't be biological life. That would be like something else, like a different
Yeah,
entity of creation.
we're kind of at the point rolling off on something that we shouldn't be.
Yeah, spooky stuff. Robots are gonna take over. That's why I trust in furry.
It's gonna be more than right.
Fur,
Because
not
I
metal.
mean, at the end of the day, at the end of the day, you can actually convince your AI that it's always been furry and always been furry. Imagine that. And to get back to your point, and as with no dragons, you said I've met single cell organisms that are more intelligent than humans.
There you go.
There we go. That
Yeah,
settles that.
that's true. And I think he's talking about slime. Slime is smart. Smart slime.
Right, exactly. Imagine if the center of the universe was basically this thing who just happened to be a big slime, like a blob that has all the answers to the universe. And then some more. There we go. That basically solves that. All right. But I guess that's pretty much all we've got for for the week. Wow. Some crazy stuff has been happening though. So, would you use just like to wrap this up in just a quick statement?
How about you, first, Avira?
Yeah, sure. Well, like I said earlier, it was great to be back. You guys are doing fantastic. I would like to wish everyone a happy America weekend. For last week, if you celebrate America defeating our enemies with a bunch of explosions, beautiful stuff. Crusader Cat should not be attacked for his bowl cut. It is beautiful and gorgeous. So whatever anyone says about that, they're just liars and haters and bullies. Whatever. Those guys can piss off. Who cares? AI is going to kill us, and I guess I'll see you next time.
No.
Well, the whole Ubisoft thing is just opening the floodgates. Furrycons are basically as shallow as a, as an empty pool. And Grok, to be honest with you, is entertaining as all hell. And it's fun to watch people just go completely batshit crazy over it. That's what I got to say for this week.
Yeah, that's all well and good. And I'd like to thank you all for tuning in. And I hope you enjoyed that as much as we did coming through and making this show and all the crazy that we encounter along the way. And as always, you can find our episodes on Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, TuneIn, Player.fm, iHeartRadio, BitChute, and more. Well, that's all we've got for the week. Thank you, and until next time.
Laters.
All right, later, guys. Ow, ow.